Alright, so I'm gonna give you my backlash predictions. I don't see Cody Rhodes beating Brock Lesnar. When the whole Brock Lesnar thing happened with him attacking Cody Rhodes and taking Cody Rhodes out, I thought to myself, especially after the WrestleMania thing with, of course, Roman beating Cody Rhodes, I was thinking that Brock's gonna win. I think it was because of the whole he has to earn that thing and the whole he has to go through this adversity thing, you know. So I never my thinking wasn't towards Cody's gonna beat Brock. It was more like Brock's gonna beat Cody because what you can have is you can extend it. If you don't have nothing else for Cody, you could extend his feud with Brock, and you could always run that back, and you could have Cody lose here, and now Cody has to overcome this loss to Brock, and you could have that at the next either could be the next pay-per-view or it could be at Money in the Bank. And the thing is, I don't see Cody winning the Money in the Bank. Because the Money in the Bank usually you use to launch somebody, but in a way that it's usually a surprise when they cash it in. And they usually cash it in on a weakened opponent, and I can't see Cody doing that. I can't see, Cody recently had an interview where they asked him about Roman Reigns, and he says, he still feels as though that's the most important title. That's the title he still wants to go after. So I can't really see Cody Rhodes winning the Money in the Bank and, cashing it on a weekend Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes would want Roman Reigns to be at 100% when he faces him again. There'll be, Cody's not going to want any excuses. He's going to want to beat Roman Reigns when he's at his strongest, when he's in God mode or whatever it is, when he's at his best. I could see that more I could see it for LA Knight, like you guys mentioned. I could see that. I could also see it for, my pick would be um, Logan Paul, because you can have. I can't see Logan Paul challenging Roman again. That's over. He's been through that. I can't see him doing that. But you could have Logan Paul challenge Austin Theory. For his United States Championship, and give Austin Theory something really good to sink his teeth into. But yeah, I don't, I would like to see the Logan Paul Austin Theory match. Of course, it was one of my picks to see after Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. So I could see them going that route, or I would go that route. LA Knight would be another great one. I could see him, him and Austin Theory. Him and Roman Reigns. I can't really see it. I think it would be a squash match or whatever. But yeah, I could definitely see LA Knight on Austin Theory as well, or LA Knight being the type that kind of he'll cash it in on somebody. I could see Logan Paul and LA Knight doing that. But let's go back to Cody Rhodes, okay? So I'm predicting Cody's gonna lose, because of the whole he has to earn it thing, the whole he has to go through this adversity thing. Now, there's many ways you could go with Cody, though. You could have Cody lose here, and you could have him in the finals with Seth Rollins, and you could have Seth Rollins beating Cody, and so You know, you could have that rematch at SummerSlam. That's the match I actually see at SummerSlam. The main event at SummerSlam, I see Cody being Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, because I noticed they're both on the same brand, so I find that interesting. Also, I can't see them not meeting again. Their paths crossing again. There's a lot of history there, and not only that, but if Seth Rollins wins the championship, Cody has kind of it over him. Like, how many times did I beat you, Seth? I believe it was 3 times, and Cody would have the advantage, and Cody would know it. So I could see Cody Rhodes challenging Seth Rollins for his newly won championship. Definitely at SummerSlam. That's the main event I really do see at SummerSlam, because I do see them crossing paths. Now, you could also have it where Cody Rhodes loses to Brock. Okay. Then Cody Rhodes wins the World Championship. And Cody Rhodes faces Brock Lesnar, Money in the Bank. Cody beats Brock. And then Cody again faces Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. And you could have that where Cody looks strong. Now Cody's looking strong, beats Seth again at SummerSlam. Then you can have where Roman screws Cody again out of the championship. And again, you could have it be Solo, so it sort of connects. Solo again costs Cody the champion, this time the championship, but costs him the big match, and then you could have Cody motivated, comes back, maybe starts a feud with Solo, a little feud with Solo, takes out Solo. Then you could have Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble. And, in dominant fashion. Like, maybe he could have the most eliminations, whatever. And challenge, again, he would challenge Roman Reigns. Now, there's another scenario where, say, Cody faces Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, right? Now, Seth Rollins does not win, Cody wins. Now, this triggers Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is like, Roman Reigns wants to believe that he dealt a huge blow to Cody Rhodes. A blow that he can't recover from. So you have Cody lose to Brock, right? You have Cody rebound. He beats Brock again. He beats Brock it could be Night of Champions. It could be Money in the Bank. Most likely, say Money in the Bank. He beats Brock Lesnar. He comes back. He challenges Seth Rollins. Now Cody beats Seth Rollins for the championship, and now Roman's pissed, because he's like, man, I can't get rid of this guy. He keeps bouncing back. And so, maybe you could show Roman backstage pissed off. You could show him, come out to the ringside after Cody wins and be like, fuck this dude again. Like, you could have that. And then, of course, again, you could go with the thing where Roman screws Cody, makes Cody lose the belt. Cody rebounds, takes out, Solo Sikoa, and then, wins the Royal Rumble, comes back and, challenges Roman Reigns. So there's a few different ways you can do this. You could have it where Cody wins and, challenges Seth, but loses against Seth, and then he beats Brock at the next, say, Money in the Bank. And then he challenges Seth at SummerSlam. And then he beats Seth at SummerSlam. triggering Roman Reigns. And then, Roman gets pissed off. And then Solo Sikoa later on, he costs Cody Rhodes his championship. Cody rebounds, wins the Royal Rumble in dominant faction, and then goes on to face Roman Reigns. I mean, it's sort of similar because on one hand you got Cody winning against Brock. On one hand you got him losing against Brock, and the same thing with Seth too. You got him winning and losing. I mean, you guys might have to rewind this again and figure this out and see what scenario you like better. But there's a couple scenarios there for you. But in my opinion, I see Cody losing to Brock. I don't know about the tournament. I do see Seth Rollins becoming the world champion. And I see him and Cody at SummerSlam. And I don't know how it goes from there. If you have Cody win, you could have Cody win the championship and go on a huge run. And then have Roman, put an end to that. And then Cody bounces back. And on the other hand, you could have Cody lose against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, him having to redeem himself against Seth. So either one, I don't know. Whichever, maybe you guys can choose, make a choice, which one you like better. Maybe you even thought about a different scenario, a different sort of path. Okay, so in my opinion, Cody loses. Now let's go on to the women's match. Io and Bianca. Look, here's the bottom line. I know you guys are tired. The bottom line is this: you guys are tired of Bianca Belair. Let's be honest here. And you've grown tired of her. You find this reign stale. You find her boring. And I don't. I consider Bianca Belair, she's one of the best women's wrestlers today, and not only that, but she's a great champion. I've never grown tired of her reign. I think she's doing a great job, and I certainly don't find Bianca Belair boring. I think that's an insult to Bianca Belair, to be honest with you. But she's facing Io. You guys wanted her to beat Asuka, If she lost to Asuka, I would have liked it for it not to be at WrestleMania because the story wasn't there. You could have had another rematch with her and Asuka and have her, have a rematch with Asuka, better storyline. Then she loses the championship to Asuka. Okay. Now with Io, I don't know if there's much of a story. I haven't heard of it about it. But I do know this, that I've been watching Io since Stardom, since she was in Queen's Quest. And she was a great champion. She was a dominant champion, And if we get that Io, if we get the champion of Stardom Io, if we get the dominant champion of NXT Io against Bianca Belair, first of all, it's going to be a treat. But I could see that Io beating Bianca Belair, but it would have to be a sort of performance like Rhea Ripley put on against Charlotte Flair to beat her. That's the type of victory, that or defeat that Bianca Belair deserves, because she's been a great champion. If she faces Io, she should face that Io, and it should be, a classic. And if she lost to Io, it should be like that, because this was the best version of Io against Bianca Belair. And they lost, and she lost, you know, in a great match, to a great warrior, a great former champion. That's how I see her beating, Io beating Bianca Belair, in a great match, a classic match. Other than, I mean, uh, you know, with the levels of the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair match, those levels, at that level, beating Bianca Belair. Otherwise, they better not have Io beat Bianca Belair, because that's the only defeat Bianca deserves. You know, um, she doesn't need to lose the championship in a half-ass match that's not no one's gonna remember. You know, so that's the only way I could see Bianca Belair beating Io Shirai. Now, with the with the championships, with you know Bianca Belair drafted to SmackDown now. She has the Raw Women's Championship, and Rhea Ripley drafted the Raw. She has the SmackDown's Women's Championship. There's rumors or just speculation about how Triple H is gonna go through with that, you know, through with that scenario. What he did basically, to make that happen, because I think I don't know why he would put himself in a position like that, because this this happened to Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, and it wasn't very popular. You had them switching, swapping the championship. Vince McMahon had them swapping the championships. So I can't see Triple H, going that route again, because this was a very unpopular route. Now, why he would put himself in this position, I have no idea. But so I see the logic, and okay, he's probably gonna create different championships for them, and call them different things: a world championship, WWE championship. Okay, but I have a scenario here in which you can have both champions face each other, and it's fair. One's gonna lose, you know, and one of those women captures both belts. Now hear me out here. What I'm proposing is that the two women have a ladder match. Okay. Now I got this idea from the past, from you guys remember when Shawn Michaels was suspended? Basically from the WrestleMania ladder match with Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon. When Shawn Michaels was suspended, Razor Ramon won the Intercontinental Championship in a tournament, I believe it was. And then Shawn Michaels came back, and he came back with a new Intercontinental Championship, a replica Intercontinental Championship. So, Jack Tunney or whatever, wanted to figure out that situation and decided on a ladder match at WrestleMania. Both titles suspended high above the ring, and whoever grabs it is the true Intercontinental Champion. Now, this is the same thing I'm proposing for Bianca and Rhea Ripley. That these two women compete in a ladder match. Now, there's rules to this ladder match, though, you see. Yes, whoever climbs up will capture both championships. However, they will not be able to keep both championships. One of those championships they will have to give up. Now, the interesting thing about this is, say if Rhea Ripley goes up and she grabs both championships. Now, what championship is Rhea gonna pick? Because, okay, she has her SmackDown championship, and that's the championship she won off of Charlotte Flair. So that holds a certain significance, because she was never able to beat Charlotte Flair. She finally beat Charlotte Flair. However, if Rhea chooses that title, Rhea is moved to SmackDown, okay, without Judgment Day. So without her partners in Judgment Day, without Dominic Mysterio, it's just Rhea and her SmackDown Women's Championship. That's it. Now, if she chooses the Raw Women's Championship, it's not the one that, of course, she defeated Charlotte Flair for, and if she chooses that championship, she stays on Raw, of course, and she stays with her her partners in Judgment Day. Now, I got the idea from sort of WrestleMania. I mean, Royal Rumble too. When they win the Royal Rumble, you get to choose your opponent. This one, you get to choose your belt. But, interesting scenarios could play out, with that, especially when it comes to Rhea Ripley and what she would choose. Does she choose Judgment Day? Or does she choose this history, this history with Charlotte Flair, where she finally was able to put down Charlotte Flair? So, and she would have to decide on one of those things. One you take your championship, that prestigious championship you won from Charlotte Flair, and you go to SmackDown, but you can't. But you're leaving your partners behind in Judgment Day. You're leaving Dominic Mysterio behind. And the other one, you win the Raw Women's Championship. You basically won that all Bianca Belair. And, you'll be with your partners in Judgment Day. So I thought that would be interesting. Let's see what else. Okay, the tag team match. With what is it, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and who else is there against the Usos and Solo Sikoa? Oh, it's Matt Riddle. Okay, so I feel as though the whole thing with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, that should end. That should have ended after WrestleMania. It's time to end that, because it's time for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to move on. I mean, basically Sami Zayn to move on. But I found the stuff interesting now, that what's happening with the bloodline, because I noticed that Triple H kind of decided to go for that inner story with the bloodline. It's not about really Sami Zayn anymore, or Cody Rhodes. It's about, Roman and his brothers in the bloodline, his cousins in the bloodline. And I noticed that that's kind of the route Triple H is taking, or it seems like he's taking anyway. So that's why I proposed a match at SummerSlam, where it's going to be Roman and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. And, what's interesting about that match is that Roman's never been pinned. So Roman knows he has that over the Usos. And the thing is, it's that, that's an advantage that, that's a pretty damn big advantage, because, Roman feels as though, Roman's gonna feel as though, like, I've never been pinned before, so the odds are stacked against you. Basically, you're gonna find your answers out the bloodline. So I thought that would be a great main event. I'm thinking maybe that's where Triple H is headed with this thing, because what's happening now with him being disgusted with the Usos and the Usos losing and him retaining, but the Usos keep losing and they had their rematch for the tag titles and they lost again. It's like a lot of disappointment there, and he's going to feel as though they're the weakest link and he's going to want them out. So that's the match I'm proposing that might happen at SummerSlam, where it's going to be uh, Roman and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos, and sink or swim out of the bloodline type of match. You win, you win, you lose, and you out of the bloodline. And then because I think that would be a different match, interesting match. Plus, you gotta figure you have Night of Champions, right? And I believe Night of Champions is like everyone defends their title at Night of Champions. Every championship is on the line at Night of Champions. So most likely Roman's going to compete at Night of Champions. Now I heard about appearance for Roman at Money in the Bank, but of course Roman's going to be there because he's going to want to see who's going to win, the Money in the Bank, to see who his next challenger might be. Now I have plans for Roman where, about who his next opponent would be, and it's like, and it connects with what would happen with the Usos. And what I'm suggesting is that, I noticed AJ Styles return on SmackDown, and that's what I'm suggesting, that it's going to be Roman versus AJ Styles, right? And then you could start a feud with the Good Brothers and the Usos, and then you could have the Usos come off the losing end of that, and then you could continue, with Roman's disappointment from there, and that would lead into SummerSlam. The thing is, like, Roman, in my opinion, his next opponent, it has to be a good one, because he's coming off of WrestleMania, one of the biggest show of the year, and he's coming off that huge match against Cody, and this is his first match since then, so it has to be against a big opponent. And the way my situation plays out is that you can have Roman facing AJ, and then have the Usos facing off against the Good Brothers. And so, everyone's kind of booked. You have something for everybody. And then you could continue the storyline there where Roman wins, and, he continues his winning streak, but the Usos are coming off the losing end of that feud, and pissing off Roman. So, yeah, I definitely could see that happening. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool and stuff. Because you gotta figure too, at SummerSlam, we already have a world champion as well. So it's not like Roman has to defend it there, because we're gonna have a world championship anyway. Which I see it being Cody Rhodes and it being Seth Rollins. So yeah, so that's what I see. I see Cody gonna lose to Brock, and then it's gonna be Bianca Belair beating Io Shirai or Io Sky, and what happens in that match with the Usos? Do they lose? Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know, because you could have them lose again, and it's not Solo Sikoa's fault. He didn't take the pin. And you can have the storyline continue from there with Roman being disgusted, or you could hold it off yet, because SummerSlam's not till August, and you could have the bloodline basically win that. So I'm not really sure about that. All right. So let's go on to NXT. So, I was worried about the women's tag team championships, and it seems like it's kind of been resolved. It looks like Isla Dawn and Alba Fire said something like, they're gonna defend those championships across all brands. So I'm guessing that's Triple H's solution to the tag team championships for now. Um, as far as as far as the women's championship goes, with Indy Hartwell having to go relinquish it due to injury. Um, I feel as though um, that it's gonna either go to Roxanne or Tiffany Stratton or Cora Jade. I think those are the three people to look out for in that tournament. Um, and the thing about Cora Jade is the question I have is in the draft, or why didn't she get drafted? Because it seems like